said, okay, if I need to make $10,000 a month to replace my job, what do I need to do to get accomplished? So I said, I didn't look at the type of jobs. I wanted to create assets. What are assets that I could build? So I looked at network marketing. I looked at real estate. I looked at other avenues that were legal that I could do. And I said, what do I need to do to get this accomplished? I'm going to research what are the different ways that I can create assets that are sustainable, that'll bring in passive or mostly passive income. So I read a book. I started researching this topic on passive income, and I read a book on the first two books I read, and you might be able to find these, may not be relevant. One of the books I read was a book called Multiple Streams of Internet Income. There's also a book called Multiple Streams of Income by Robert Allen in the early 2000s, and he talked about passive income. He talked about real estate, and he talked about online businesses, and that's what I was interested in. Then I read another book. It was called Make Your Site Sell by a Canadian physician, ER doctor, Dr. Ken Eboy, who talked about how to build these online businesses that generate content, that generate information that you could sell. And I said, is this legitimate? What I need to do? So I went deeper into researching this. That allowed me to go to different conferences. That allowed me to get different courses. And I invested on my researching these passive income streams. And that's what allowed me to get to where I wanted to be, because I knew that there are secrets, but most of the things that have already been done have been done, right? So there are people who knew this that I needed to know. I needed to get their skills. So I talked with the organizers of the event. I joined up for a mentoring program, and I even got someone to be able for me to apprentice them for a few months while still having my other job, because I knew that this goal of bringing in an asset that could produce sustainable passive income was important to me. I consumed information for me. I consumed. But it's not about just consuming information. You eventually have to do implementation, right? You can research until the cows come home. So going back to that SMART goals, I was very specific on what I wanted to do. I wanted to measure it, so I had money. I wanted to make sure that the amount of dollars we was bringing in, it had to be attainable. It was something that I could do. It was relevant to what it was doing, and there was a time limit, because my goal was I wanted to quit my job within 6 months to a year. Okay? It's a little bit nebulous on the time, but I knew what I wanted to get accomplished. So I worked for somebody for about 4 to 6 months. He was a multimillionaire, and I worked on his business. Even when working, did this virtually, but I would often travel and visit, and I got to know everything I needed to know. And eventually, I was able to buy his business. I actually bought his online businesses and his email lists. And this is what I needed to study. But if you notice, it went from, I just need to quit my job because I hate it, to something that I can achieve that is positive. It's in a positive direction. My goal has become more and more specific. Went from, I don't want to work in this job, to I need to find a sustainable asset that can bring me repeatable, sustainable income. And then it went from doing that to I need to create a business. So for me, that I honed in my goal even more, since I need to create an online business. At the time, selling products, and I was doing consulting that would generate enough money to replace my doctor's income. Because the more specific you can be, the more you can get your goals accomplished, and the faster it is for you to implement.